Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. I had a little difficulty there, but I figured out what I did wrong, and so here we are. I'm now trying to get to my messages. I hope you are all doing fine. And let's see if I can get to the comments. So happy Sunday, everybody. I am Marcie Besecker, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am super excited today to share with you a couple of fun, really exciting projects. I was asked by a viewer to demonstrate with the Bloom and Grow. So here I am doing that, still trying to get my comments up, and they are up. Vey, hi, how are you? Whew. I told you with the new YouTube, there's a code you have to carry over onto my program, and anyway, it doubled up the code on my little thing, and so it wouldn't open, and I was like, why aren't you opening? So we're here. Yay. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing, Linda. I really appreciate it. South Carolina. Oh, you guys, I'm super excited about this project. I have to say, I had a request, and I honestly can't remember who. I should have went back and looked. I'm so sorry. If you are here, please let me know. I want to say it was Sharon, but I can't remember for sure. But the Bloom and Grow is a set that I have been looking at and thinking, I have so many flowers. Do I really need more? Yes, I love these. I had so much fun creating these. I also had a challenge to do a Valentine, or a, not Valentine, a wedding. So let me show you. So we're going to create this card and a box, and I'm going to give you some ideas on how to create your size, what you need, and how you're going to go about doing the size that you want. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a couple of different options. So we're going to create that. Sally, welcome. Bonnie, the fires, I think they're still kind of going. A lot of them are like underground. The Napa Valley still has some fires, but our smoke has cleared up a lot where I'm at, and we were by the Big Creek fires. I'm not very far from Yosemite, if you know where that's at in California, and so and going up the hills right there were the fires, and I think they've got them. I don't know what the containment percentage, but the air is so much better now, so we're doing much better. Thank you for asking. So there's a couple things I want to hit on first. I've been asked a lot about my die pouches and how I store my dies. Oh, I hope it clears up, Bonnie. It's awful. Thank you, Feline. Thank you so much. All right, so let me show you these pouches. I get asked a lot, either on videos, messages, or people message me through my blog a lot about the thanks, Steph. 68% contains, you guys. Stephanie lives locally also. So I get these from Stampin' Storage. So I'm going to just do a quick little show and tell here because I do get asked a lot. I'm going to grab the pouches. So I have a link on my blog, and I also have a link below in the description. So the pouches come like this. You get 12 to a set. And the magnets come like that. Oops, not upside down. And they are 10 in a pack. And I have done a lot of different storage. The pouch, what do I store them in? I store them, let me move this out of the way because it's pretty heavy. Like this. So this is a refrigerator bin, and I just got this off of Amazon, and I don't know if this one still has the name on it. This one is the Interdesign, and I'm trying to see if there's a size. I can look it up for you if you want it. Let me know. I'll look up the size, but it's Interdesign. And so I just put them all in here, and when I put them back, I do not put them in order. I just put them in whatever I used last up towards the front, and they just rotate all the time because it's just easier for me, I keep my pouches in the back of, so I know I still have more. And then on the shelf below, I keep the magnets. And they're the 6x7. And I wrote that down below in the description. I am an affiliate for Stampin' Storage. So if you use my link, I would really appreciate it. And those that have already purchased from me through my link, thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate it. Now, I have to say that I have used a lot of different products. I used to put my dies in here, and then at one time I used to put a magnetic sheet and put my dies in here. But now Stampin' Up has so many other dies. Like this Stitch So Sweetly goes with a sentiment set, but I'm not going to hide this away inside my sentiment set because I'll never find it, knowing that I have all of these great label makers and rectangles to use. And so you'll also notice, like on this set, I've got little flowers here I can use. I've got these little scallops I can use. Stampin' Up has really stepped it up and added a lot of different dies in their die sets. So also, not only does the die set go with one particular set, it can go with multiple sets, just like the Curvy Celebrations. So that's just something to think about, and why I don't store them with my stamp set, because they have so many multiple uses. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, I need a label, and I'll just thumb through my dies until I come across a set that I'm like, oh, maybe that would work. And there's a lot of dies sets like that, so I do not store them in here anymore. Then I used to use the Avery L label pouches, and I stopped using those because, of course, I switched to Stampin' Up, and so I have my great cases, and I don't want to take them out of my cases. I think these are perfect to see on the side. Love it. And so I wanted to come up with a die solution, and this I should have done years ago. So anyway, that is how I do my dies. So I hope that is helpful. And now let's get to our project. Let's see, for those patches rather than the original containers. Oh, absolutely, Vay. I do, because I can just slide this out and have it right here. Whereas the pouches, you have to open, pull them out. They're on, you know, cardboard with adhesive, and you're sticking them and they're falling off, and then they lay over each other, and you don't want your little blades to be, you know, stored like this, because if they get moved around and then this is rubbing, you're going to get, your blade's going to get dull, and I don't want that. And I just like to see what I have, and it's just much easier for me. And then, yeah, I prefer this way better. So yes, I do prefer this. Hi, Heather. Welcome. No, okay, so Vay, really quickly, these are cardboard. They are, they have a nice, like a DSP kind of print on the back, and they are way better than the vent covers. I did use those too. That's what I used to cut out and put inside the cases. And half of them didn't stick, and they were, you know, sometimes they fall off, and they're not the best magnets either. But yes, these are very sturdy, very friendly, you know, nice to use. And yeah, so okay, so there's my magnet situation. Again, there is a link down below in the description, and on my blog on the right side, if you scroll down right before the catalogs, you are going to see my link for stamp and storage, and that's where you can go. And if you use my link, I really appreciate that so much. Okay, Heather, no problem. Okay, so that's it for that. A lot of people ask. I thought I would just throw that back out there again this time so you can know, especially since I'm using 3 different ones. So today we're going to use the Bloom and the Grow. And of course my rectangle stitches, funny story, I was trying to find them. I couldn't find them. They're in my next video bin, so I will be using these again on Tuesday. The Stitched So Sweetly, and of course the Buddy Blooms. And that's another thing. Remember that Buddy Blooms is a different name, then blooms and grow. So I try to remember, I don't always, but put a sticker on there that tells me what the name of the dies are. That way I don't have to thumb through all of them, and I can find the one that I want, and that it goes with this. So that's another little helpful tip there. All right. So let's get busy. Let's start the card first. I just thought this was such a fun set. It's so easy to color, easy to use. I'm going to make sure I pull out my champagne mist, because the other day I did a card and I forgot my champagne mist at the end. So I don't want to forget that. I have a bunch of extra cardstock here just to do my sentiments, and I did use shimmer, and I don't think I wrote that below, so I will change that. It is the shimmer paper, not the Whisper White regular cardstock. I did use the basic gray, and I did the A2 size, so it's 8.5 by 4 or by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now, what I want to tell you, I know I've told you a lot about my DSP and how I store it in this case. So this is perfect for the card. I cut my little piece down to go on the front of my card. So it's going to be 4 by 5 1/4, and the measurements will be on my blog. That's what gives you this leftover piece. It's going to go on the bottom here and adhered inside the card. Okay, so that's perfect for that. But I really love this paper, so I also keep a two of them, a large package for projects like this. So whenever you're doing 3D projects or different things, you're going to want a large, the larger sheets. So if you like the paper, also keep one in the 12 by 12 for larger projects. We are going to change this one up just a little bit. I'm excited to do that, so I'll show you. All right, so let's get busy on our coloring. And I'm going to bring in my foam sheet here, my piercing pad. Except I just need to find it. I had a class yesterday, so now I'm like, where did I put it all? Here it is. All right, so we're going to use our foam because it's a polymer set. I am going to use the same flowers just because I really like how they look. All right, I'm going to get a nice, let's see. This one is too small, so we're going to go with this one. All right, and Memento. And then I'll show you, the coloring is super quick. And like what I like to do is rub a little and then I pat. I just want to make sure I've got ink everywhere. I like to hold it for just a bit just to get a little, make sure it absorbs in the paper. And that's beautiful. And of course my camera stand fell down right before I started taping, so I just want to make sure that you are in the picture good. How is everybody's weather? It's beautiful here today. Beautiful. Oh, you know what? I need 2 of them, so I might as well do them now. Might as well. Okay. So we're going to do 2, one for the box and one for the card. Oh, I'm kind of ready for fall. It seems like with the smoke and everything, we didn't really have much of a summer because we couldn't go outside and couldn't go swimming and kind of enjoy the summertime. Hopefully, and it seems like it does that here. I know I'm in California and a lot of people think, oh, it's so nice all the time. But our fall and spring, I love it. And it just seems like sometimes we get a day to a week of it, and then all of a sudden it's raining and it's winter, and we're like, well, what happened to our beautiful cool weather? All right, so the colors I'm using are the soft seafoam, the petal pink, and old olive. So those are the colors I'm going to use. I'll zoom you in just a bit. We're just going to do a quick color. This doesn't take hardly any time at all. So I'm going to take the darker seafoam, and I don't even really do a lot of shading or anything because it's so small. And I think I did the light seafoam last time, but I'm going to do the dark to do a pop of color because I'm not doing the same ribbon this time. So I'm not even doing, there's so little, I'm just not going to do any shading. I want this to be as easy as possible and quickly a card that you can put together. So I'm just going to do all of these at one time. And I did the seafoam just because I wanted kind of another soft color, but something different. I didn't really want like a yellow or orange or something to make it too bright. I kind of wanted to stay soft. So the first one I did light, but I wanted to do this one dark to switch it up a bit because of the ribbon I'm going to use. Thanks, Kathleen. Kayleen, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take the small one, and I am going to shade the leaves a little bit, and I am just going to do like a little tiny check mark. So I'm going to come down and just do a little check mark or a little bit towards the base. And it doesn't have to be right on a line. If they're smaller leaves, I'm just kind of doing a little here and there. So I'm going to kind of come across the edge and go up the side just a bit. And I'm not doing left or right. Hi, Michelle. I'm just kind of going just down and then up a side. So it doesn't really matter which side. I'm not being picky about which way the sun's going and all that. I just want them to have a little bit of a depth to them. And just kind of not make it look all one color. But the berries, like I said, are so tiny. The little tiny flowers are so tiny. I'm going to stay with this one while this color is still kind of fresh. And then I'm going to go in with the lighter. And you're going to go from the tip inward. Yes, Michelle. Okay, I couldn't remember who requested it. I'm so sorry. But yes, I did. And I had a challenge to do a wedding card, so I decided to use it. If you go from the tip inward, what you're doing is you're pushing the color. If you go from the base outward, then you're going to push that out, and you might see it bleed. And so I don't want that. So I go from the tip inward. And you can see the little shading. I'm not even really going over the dark so much, just because it's so little. And you don't want to do a lot of coloring because I don't want it to bleed out because it's such tiny spots. Yes, Michelle, I really love this set. Like I was saying earlier, I had seen this set, but I have a lot of flowers, and I was kind of trying to branch out and do some different things, and which I have a mail card that's going to be coming up soon on a request, so I'll be doing that soon. But I really do like these. I kept looking at them and kept looking at them. So when you said that, I was like, all right, that's just a sign I got to get them, because I do really like these. And I like them because they're already clustered. They're already there. You don't have to, like arrange them. So it's a super simple, fun, fast card. And like I mentioned before in a video, if you sit down and you're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do today, then this is what you want to do. I should have had one of these colored. I know, I'm sorry. All right, I also fixed my autofocus. So look I can bring it up to the camera a little bit better, and you can see a little better than I did before. So that's a good thing. So there I did, you can see just enough shading. So yeah, so what I did earlier, as I mentioned, is if you're not into, how you go in the craft room and you're like, oh, I don't know what to make. I don't have any mojo. I don't know what I want to create. Maybe I need to just walk away. Don't walk away. Take a stamp set that you can just sit here, turn on your TV, binge watch, and color. And if anything, it's going to, number one, help you practice your coloring. And number two, you will be surprised at the finished product. Okay, I don't need this foam mat underneath me. I don't know why I left it there, but oh well. It seems to be working. So you do not need a foam mat under you when you're coloring. Apparently, I just didn't move it. So, and then another thing is sometimes if I'm even coloring and I feel like, oh gosh, this just all looks awful, I don't like it, walk away. Just leave it, don't throw it away, walk away, and then the next day or later that day, come back and you'll be surprised at what comes in your mind. You could be like, oh my gosh, you know what I could do with this? Blah, blah, blah. Make it a background, or take that image, if it's watercoloring or whatever, and die cut out words with it or something. That's another thing, Vay, is watch some crafty videos. Although when I do that, sometimes I sit there and watch them all day and I don't get anything done. But sometimes I'll be in here coloring or fussy cutting or whatever I need to do. And then what I end up doing is, I think I just did this with the light. Let's see. I think I grabbed the wrong one, but let's see. Maybe I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't. And then I'll have to put some crafty videos on, and maybe that'll get me inspired to continue on with whatever I'm, oh, sorry, my head's in the way, with whatever I'm working on. So that's another helpful tip that I like is, there's many times I've done, like I think, oh, I'll try some watercoloring or some backgrounds or whatever, and then I think, oh my gosh, it looks terrible. But then take your little word dies and cut them out. Okay, so I have a video, not a video, a TV series recommendation for you that I guess it's not TV, it was on Netflix. But it's called Emily Goes to Paris. I thought it was so cute. I was sad it's only one series so far. One season, I guess I should say. But really cute show. I thought it was really cute. So if you've seen it, let me know. I think it was really cute. I like lighthearted, like the Hallmark Channel. I love the Hallmark Channel, but I've seen everything right now. So they're supposed to be coming out with a bunch of new ones. I can't wait. Because I like of course, they are so predictable, right? Okay, so that's it for the leaves. Done. I know watching coloring, I should have colored one ahead of time and I didn't. I'm so sorry. Again, a fast coloring. So this is the darker petal pink. I'm going to start in the middle just to color in where the black's at. Okay. And then I just scribble. I just scribble close to the bottom. I just do a little scribble. These are little tiny flowers. Okay, so this leaf is kind of coming upwards, so the bottom's on the outside there. And I just kind of go down the edges a little bit with the darker. Again, here I'm going to scribble, scribble, scribble. You just want a little bit. And I just barely put a tiny bit in, and I do a couple little edges. Okay, so, and I do about 2 flowers at a time. Oh, Deborah, wasn't it fun? Oh, to Shauna. Tell them. Well, they probably wouldn't like it. I don't think my husband. Now you're going to take the lighter one, and you're just going to blend it. And you want white at the end. Okay, so don't completely cover it. Just kind of go in on the little flowers and just kind of do a little. So basically, you're just going over the darker. So here's the darker, like this. And then you just take the lighter and just kind of go a little farther. But you're going to go over to just kind of blend it a little bit. Not a lot. But you'll see, once you do it, you'll see if there's some harsh lines that you might need to kind of go back over and Super simple. I like Netflix. I've never heard of, what is it, Gaia? I've never heard of that one. All right, so again, scribble, scribble, scribble. This is the fast, easy coloring. Scribble. And then I just kind of go in the edge just a little bit on those, like barely go in there. And the center, this is not rocket science. I love to color with alcohol markers, but sometimes, you know, you're newer or you don't have time, or it's such a little project like these little flowers that you really don't need to spend all your time. And my main thing about this is you don't want to be intimidated. These blends are, I love them. I love them, love them. I've mentioned before I have Copics. I have a lot of Copics. And, but I have not used them in months and months and months. It does take a little time, but that's why I kind of wanted to show you this little method is you don't really have to be perfect. I prefer the blends over the markers, over pencils. I just love them. I love how smooth they are. I love how they blend. And there, see, one's all done. And all I did is do a little scribble. So we'll do this one really quick and then get them die cut. Again, I just do the middle and this, and I don't go all the way to the edge. Super simple, super fast. And like I said, that's why I kind of wanted to show you this, because I don't want you to be intimidated. And I do the magnolia like this too. A little longer strokes, a little more blended. I just do a couple at a time. That way the ink still seems like it's a little fresh. And by doing marks like this, give you like a little bit of texture in there. Oops, this one, you can tell when you didn't go over one. All right. This is the petal pink. So I'm using the dark first. I do the middle with the dark, and then I do my little strokes, my little scribbles right out of the center. Little scribbles, and I just do a little scribbles right at the side there. Like I said, I am no professional color, but I like how they come out. And then I do a little longer scribble. It's either a scribble or like this, you know, like strokes. And the leaves are olive green, and then the little berry type bud things are soft sea foam. I always want to say so soft sea foam, like saffron. I keep thinking so soft sea foam, but that's not it. All right, so we're almost done. We can move on to the good stuff. I should have had one of these done, and you know, you just don't think about it when you're doing this. And I'm trying to get my next couple classes or videos and classes actually prepared and done, and I'm going to have to record a couple because I am going to Washington. Oh, Jeannie, thanks. It is it's practice, and you know, sometimes you realize you don't have to be perfect. I mean, a lot of times, trust me, I've thrown a lot of stuff away. And I want this to come a little closer to the edge, not so much white. Okay, there we go. And when you have a lot of coloring on a paper like this, and Bonnie, right, I am so excited. Thank you guys. I will have recorded things for you to watch, so don't worry about that. Or I'm trying anyway. I'm going to try and record one today, I think. But yeah, we're going to go spend, I like to cut them down just so I can have a little more control when I'm putting them on my board here, on my machine. I like to, we're going to go spend with Halloween with my grandson. He's 2. He's going to be trick-or-treating in the house with grandma, grandpa, mom, and dad, probably aunt, uncles. And, but they can't make it for Christmas. My son's in correction. He's a correctional officer. Oh, right here. Bloom and Grow and Budding Blooms is what I'm using. So he can't get off work during the holidays. So we're going to go up there. Yep, Heather, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, Michelle, I also have my computer. And I will probably watch it live with you guys because, let's see. Well, Tuesday I'll be traveling, so that won't happen. But maybe, and Sunday I'm traveling home, so that might not happen either, actually. I was thinking I could be on live chatting with you guys during it, but that probably won't work. Bonnie, I use the Big Shot Express when I'm doing videos in classes, and when I need my regular one, I definitely use the Stampin' Up one because it's just, I always say it turns like butter. Oops, look, I put it away. All right, so let's get this one cut. It's just a lot easier and faster, and my space to be able to pull up. I can lean over to do this one, but my space on my desk to be able to pull my small one up here, my manual one, it would just be, I would be tweaking and turning to pick it up off the ground to get it on the counter, so I just don't. I try to make it as easy as possible for me when I'm doing videos. All right, so we have those done, so let's get back to our card. Oh, Kayleen, I'm so sorry. Yeah, both of my grandkids live up north. One's in Oregon and one's in Washington. So, all right. So what I decided would be fun. Okay, so let's adhere this down really quick first for the bottom of the inside of the card. We're going to put our little inside here. And that's what I love about cutting my paper down is I have just, oops, I have just that little bit of paper after I cut. And with the seal, you have just enough time to pull it up and fix it if you do it crooked like I just did. All right, we're going to set that down. Now let me zoom out a little bit. You don't need, I'm not coloring anymore. All right. So I thought in the plush poinsettia, this one does not look Christmassy. You can use this for all kinds of stuff, right? So you can just adhere this right on top of your DSP, and you can choose the different side. I really wanted to go with kind of a rich, classy look, so I went with the flowers. Now, when you use your glue dots on here, what you want to do is try and adhere them where the plush stuff is, so it hides your glue dots, okay? So I put one in each corner. That's the first thing I do, just to make sure it holds down. Kind of put them where the crisscross of the plush is what I'm doing. We thought of moving up where the grandkids were. When we retire, we really thought that that's what we were going to do. And then we realized that, first of all, they're 4 hours apart from each other. Now I'm going to put them where the sentiment is going to go in the middle. You can put, it doesn't really matter where you're going to put them because it's going to be covered up anyway. So I like to just put, 2 or 3 on there. They hold really well, so I'm not too concerned about that. All right. So now we're just going to adhere it. Now, you know, when you cut stuff, sometimes it doesn't come exactly straight. So I try to start at the top corner. Okay. And go over and then down the side. And you're going to see where you have, like, you know, you could be off just a sliver one way or the other. Hi, Felicia. Welcome. You missed coloring. We're just starting everything else. I got some coloring done right here. I showed a really quick way to do some coloring. All right, so there is the top. And now I'm going to adhere it on here. Because I have a bow, I don't adhere it yet. Because I have a bow, I'm going to wait and not put it on. And I'm also going to glue it and not pop it up. So that you can put your bow and everything on there. And your bow, if it's a little bigger, you don't have this also popped up. So we're going to set that aside for now. And let's get our sentiments done. I turn the fan up. If it's too loud, let me know. It's warm in here. All right, so we're going to use this. And let's see, I think I can put it on here. So I like to turn my polymer just down and then just take my blocks are dirty. Whew. I do too, Kayleen. I love that. I have people that are like, if it comes back, grab it for me. And I'm like, if it comes back, I'm going to grab a few because I really like it a lot. All right, so I even used the sparkle for my sentiment. Okay, so I just really like it, especially for cards like this. All right, so I'm going to put it up a little ways because we are going to use a die to cut it out. Okay, so there's that one. And then we're also going to use Let's Celebrate You. I think that's when I got mine too, Heather. I just hope they come back. All right, so again, I'm going to lay that down. Oh, I'm going to turn this sideways because I don't think it's long enough. I want to make sure I'm covered on both sides there. So I really like this set. I like the font. I like the sentiments. I like the flowers. Like I said, it's a no-brainer. You just pick a cluster of flowers out and there you go. All right, so I'm going to put this over here, try and save a little bit of paper. Hopefully that's in enough to use my die. All right. All right, let me move that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to die cut, and oh, I don't remember if it was on Celebration. I think I bought it as a demonstrator. On our supplies when I got it. Okay, so we're going to use from the Stitch So Sweetly, we're going to use this one. And then I'm trying to remember which one I used here. I think it's this one. Oh, you know what? I think I used these over here. Let me just make sure. Now I'm like, which one did I use? I've got the ribbon covering part of it, so I just want to make sure. Yes, so I used the larger one on the smaller, the long rectangles. So that's the one I used here. All right, we're going to cut them separately because I put them too close together. You don't want your dies to overlap. So let me just put this in here. Does anybody else have this set? Oh, okay, Bonnie. All right, now I'm going to do the other sentiment. And then we're going to decorate those. All right. So now we have that. And we're going to bring in our petal pink. So remember, I used the shimmer white. Oops, where does this go? There we go. Oh, Kim, no problem. I'm glad you made it. We just did some coloring. I colored just a quick color to show that, you know, you don't have to do it just perfectly to create a card. All right, now I have my 2 sentiments done. So I'm kind of doing both while I'm here, using my black and using my dice to cut out my sentiments. I'm doing both for the card and the box. So here's our flowers. Let me turn this here. We're going to stamp on these. And what I did is I chose these cute little teeny tiny flowers there, which are right here. And I just love this, like, just hello, just a sweet hello. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We are using these 2, and you are simply wonderful. So this to me was wedding, or this could be birthday, or retirement, or anything. But then you have some really cute sentiments here, some sweet sentiments, and oh yeah, the hello's right there. It's a little, but that would be just cute to make a little note card too. But I just loved this because the flowers are all together. There's no thinking about it. You just do it. All right, I'm going to move this because we're going to stamp off. Whenever I do printing, there's a lot of white, and so I don't like to leave my sentiments so white all the time. So I'm going to stamp off and just add some flowers, and they're just so faint in the background. Okay, so here we go. There, I don't know if you can even see them. They're so faint, but they're there. So it kind of covers up all that extra space there. And I just random, I do some off. Make sure you do it on the edge. You don't want it perfect. And I'm going to do another over here and a little there. So again, you can barely see it, but it's just enough to fill up that extra space. It does have shine. The Stampin' Up shimmer paper, let's see if you can see. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. Let me get closer and see what it does. Let's see. No, I don't think you can see it. But it does have a shimmer to it. It also has like a little coating on it. It's not as porous, I guess, as the regular paper. And so when you color on it and do your alcohol, they just slide and blend, you know, really nicely. So that's why I like to use those. All right, so now we're going to do our card, and guess what we're going to use, you guys? Once I did this card, there's 2 things. I'm going to get a vote from you because I just realized I turned my head. Hold on one sec. I thought we could use this, or well, now I can't find it, but we have that really pretty gray. Well, that's a bummer because I cannot find the gray, so I guess we're going to use the mesh. Well, I know I have the gray, but I can't find it. But my original intention was the mesh anyway. I thought it would just really dress it up. Oh, Kayleen, yes, you do. You have to get some. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is the name is, find it in English, metallic mesh ribbon. What I like about Stampin' Up's ribbon, you guys, is 10 yards. That is a lot of ribbon. But look how pretty and thin this is. So we're going to bring this around and tie a bow in the front. So I think what I'm going to do first is we're going to go ahead and put our sentiment on. All right, so let me find my dimensionals. And I have some long strands here I'm going to try and use up. I try to use all my little pieces up. All right, so we're going to, oops. We're just going to put those on here. I'm going to put this on this side. And because it is long, I'm also going to put some in the middle, because I don't want it to kind of cave in. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put this one down here because I just want to make sure it stays up really well. Or the ornate one, okay, I have a few already scheduled, but I will definitely be using that one again. I do have some that I've done on my blog. Felicia, that was the same with me. Somebody requested it. It is from the Halloween, Bonnie. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead. Think about where the flowers are going to go. And the flowers can go either way. I liked them draped down for this. So I'm just going to kind of put that. Oh, what do I don't need this. I like to use this so I have my grid behind me and kind of line it where I want it. I'm going to go down one more. But I will get the ornate in again. All right, so now remember that the bottom part is going to, you want that, the F just fits perfectly right there. Now I'm going to bring my card in because I want to make sure it doesn't hang over too much. I don't glue it till the end. We got to put the bow on first anyway. So take your piece kind of thing, and I think that's going to be fine. It's just barely hanging over. I'm okay with this kind of hanging down. You know what it says. So you want to put your dimensionals on the top part. Okay, so let's put them up on the top. We're going to need some little ones. So I'm just going to put these towards the top. This one I think I can sneak up higher. And now I'm going to bring in little ones. So I like to use my little pick here. And I'm going to cut one. And I'm going to cut this little guy right here. And now just pick him up. So it's easier to cut them when they're on the paper. And I just picked up that lid. That's okay. The top to that one. So I'm going to use it because I don't want it to stick to stuff. And I'll just put it right there. All right, so these are all going to be on. Yeah, see, I thought the vellum was, it's in the plush poinsettia. And so I thought, well, that one doesn't look Christmassy. I could use that for something else. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. That one and that one has it. Okay, so we're good. So I'm going to take off all my little, I just make sure that your dimensionals aren't going to be up on top. Now, what I like to do is you could take your seal, but I like using my glue dots for these little pieces like this. because you're going to adhere them down. And if they don't adhere perfectly down, if they don't touch the paper all the way, I'm not too worried about it because it is, oops, it's a glue dot. It'll be fine. Oh, I always use the edge of the dimensionals. I usually use them up first, but I just opened that mini one. Okay, so now bring this back in. We're just going to lay it down here. We're going to bring this in, and I want that. Just lay it down. You're just barely at the edges, but I want to bring it down a little bit. I don't want to see that. I want the flowers to kind of be, see how now there's not that hole there, it's just the white. So, and now I'm good with that. Oh, but you know what I forgot? Darn it. Okay, I'm going to see if I can take it off because I forgot something. Okay, dang it. Doesn't that always just... I told you guys at the beginning I was going to forget this. Okay, I'm going to leave the dimensionals on if I can because of the plush. And we're going to leave them on the plush so that they stay stuck and don't get the hair and then have to replace them. And I'm going to pull the paper off because I forgot my shimmer, you guys. Yeah, if you do it really slow. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do in my trash can over here. Oh, this one came off, so I'm just going to do a new one. I do it in my trash, so it's not all over, but I have that shimmer, champagne shimmer paint in here. And I'm just going to shake it up. I'm going to do both of them while I have them here. I can't believe I forgot. I just told you guys I brought this out so I wouldn't forget. I could, but I don't want to get it all over the card. I really wanted just the flowers to be what pops up. And then just spray as much as you want. I like a lot of shimmer. I don't know if you guys can tell. Let's see. Well, I wish you guys could see this. There you go. All right. So there's the one. There's the other. All right. So we have our dimensionals. We're going to add one more down here because that's the one that came off. All right. So here we go again. I have water in it. It's much better to put alcohol because it dries faster, but I didn't have alcohol at the time when I mixed this, so so I chose to use water because it works fine. It just dries a little slower. All right, so we're just going to leave it like that, and I will press it down when it dries a little more. Okay, let's clean this up so you can see the project before it gets buried with trash. All right, so now we're going to move that one aside. Now for our ribbon. Woo! I'm going to try this. So I think this could either go on top or underneath. So whatever, I think we're just going to bring it, I think just across the bottom is going to be fine. I always like to make sure I have enough. My shimmer sprays is straight. Oh, do you have the shimmer? Yeah, the shimmer paint is, let me pull it out. Like here is a champagne one, but we also have white. It's 147044 and it should be linked below. And it's just a little, if I can open it. I keep it in the bag just so it keeps fresh, but you can hear it. And then you just pour a little bit in. So I've probably used 3 bottles worth of shimmer in the spray, and it's still up to here. It's still pretty full. And then I just pour a little in there with alcohol or water. But make sure you use a Stampin' Up sprayer, because this one has a really nice mist. There's other ones that don't spray as nicely. All right, so let's think of our bow. I'm going to kind of even it up here. I think the smart thing to do is right below your sentiment, I'm going to do a little bit of adhesive, and I'm going to bring my mat in. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back to hold in place, and then lay that down. So now you have a little more stability when you're tying your bow. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be pretty. And I had it in the middle, but I'm wondering. Well, let's put it on the side right here and just see what happens. See what it looks like. All right, I know I did too much, but that's okay because I have an idea. But this is such pretty. This is the first time I've used this bow. I really don't do Halloween, but I really liked the ribbon. Wow, this is really pretty. This ribbon is so pretty, and it lays so flat you won't even know it's there. All right, so we're going to leave it long. Fold it. And cut it. Oops, wrong way. Fold it. Cut it. It really doesn't really have the right ends. Oh yeah, Michelle, you should definitely tell your upline or your demonstrator that you use, or not. If you're a demonstrator, then I would call them and complain and let them know. They'll replace it for you. And if not, let your demonstrator know. All right, so I'm loving the bow, and I like it to the side because I want the tails a little longer, so I like how that looks. I'm going to use liquid adhesive to put this down. It's not too heavy, but I'm going to use liquid. I'm going to dot through there so it stays nice and straight where I want it. All right. All right, so there is our card. So that's the difference there. Now this one I did use the silver edged metallic, and then I took this soft sea foam, the light pen, and I colored the ribbon. Okay, so that's how I did that one. So there are the cards. Oh, let's put our inside in. Oh. Hello. All right, so we're going to put our inside in. You know, Bonnie, it's kind of like it's going to smash in your envelope, but it's going to pop right back up. All right, there's our card. Yeah, see how it's just, it'll pop right back up. It's just like it's hard to explain. It's not wire at all. It's super soft, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to do a box and how to figure out your box size. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a larger box, which is going to be 8 by 8. Now, I'm going to show you how to create a size that works for you and what size you are going to want All right, hold on, I'm missing something here. I am missing our rhinestones, so we'll do that at the end, and we'll add those to our card. And the other thing I'm missing is, let me find it. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute, but I wanted to grab it so I don't forget. Okay. Oh, perfect, Felicia. Okay, so how we're going to do the card is, the box, is I'm going to pull out my score. And on my blog, I'm going to have some directions. It's going to be a different size, but it's going to kind of explain to you what I'm going to explain now on how to create the size that you want. So I'm going to set this aside real quick just to show you. This box is 4 by 4. So what you want to do is find something the size that you want. I like this box to be square. So let's just say this one is a little over 4. So let's just say this one would be 5 by 5. Okay, so you're going to, let me bring a scratch paper in here. Well, I'll just draw it right here. If you have your box 5 by 5, so we're just going to use this. So this is going to be, let me get something you can see. All right. And this will be on the blog, but just so where you can get a little of an idea. If you do, your box is going to be 5 by 5, okay, so this isn't perfect. Okay, and let's say that you want your box to be an inch deep. Let's say 2 inches deep. This one is 2 inches deep. So you're going to do 5, 6, 7, and then 2 on the other side. Okay, so I should have drew the box in the middle. So it's going to be 7 inches, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to be 9 by 9. Okay, if that's what you want. So, but we're doing 4 inches. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So 2 inches on each side. So we're doing 8 inches because this is going to be a 4-inch box with a 2-inch side. Does that make sense? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's square, of course, so it's going to be 8 by 8. So if you wanted it 5, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you want it 2 inches deep. If you only needed an inch deep, it's going to be 5, 6, 7. So I hope that makes sense. There's going to be a diagram and everything on my blog, so don't worry about it, but I kind of want to show you how we got to this size. All right. So let's get back here. So I hope that made sense. So what we're going to do is, no matter what your size is, so in this case we're going to do a 4-inch box with 2-inch sides. Okay, let me zoom out here for you. I have a glue dot on my mouth. My finger's sticking to it. All right. So we're going to do the bottom first. And let me fix we did a class yesterday with a different size, so let me fix my board. Get you on here so you can see it. Okay, so it's going to be 2-inch side. So we're going to do, you're going to do a 1-inch and a 2-inch, okay? Because your lid is going to be a little bit different. So for your base, you're going to do 2 inches all the way around, okay? So remember, it's 8 by 8 for 4-inch. We're going to do 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, and 2 inches. Okay, so now this is 4 by 4. This is the size of the box you want, is a 4 by 4. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with the bottom. So we'll set this one aside. Now you have the top. The top you want to be a little bit bigger than the bottom so you fit it nicely and you don't have this caved in trying to squish the same size onto the lid, and you have nice flat edges. Okay, so what you're gonna do, and this is really important, you're gonna scoot it over like a tiny bit, not even to the first hash mark. You are just a little. You don't even have to measure it. Just move it over a little bit, and you are going to score it at 1 and at 2. Okay, turn it, scooch it in just a little bit, 1 and 2. And so what you're doing by scooting it each time is you're making that center 4 inches just a tiny bit bigger. Okay, turn it, don't forget, turn, scooch it in, 1 and 2. Again, scooch it in, 1 and 2. Okay, so now you could probably see it on better on this side. So now you have 4 squares over there and 4 squares on each end. And now comes the cutting part. So I'm going to color on this one to show you what we're going to do. See if I can put my board over there without it sliding down. All right, so let's start out with this one, our bottom. I like to use large scissors, but you can use smaller. It depends on what size your box is. So I'm going to bring in my larger ones. Now, some people like their flaps to go the same way, and some people like to do them like just turn the corner and keep doing them. And it really, it doesn't matter. It's whatever your preference is. Okay, so I'm going to do them straight down. So you want to wedge off the corner. You're going to go straight here because you want your box sides to be straight, but you want to wedge off the corner. Okay, and why are you wedging? Because when you fold this in, you don't want this to happen and have that edge there. So when you fold it in nice and clean, it's definitely going to be hidden. All right, so now this one I'm going to have come this way. So I'm going to do straight and wedge, and you just want it a tiny wedge. You just want to make sure that it's not going to show. Same thing here on the bottom. You don't need it rubbing up against anything. It's just a very slight wedge. Same thing here. Wedge, straight, and wedge. So you only wedge the tabs. Okay? So we have straight, wedge. It's, you know, your wedges don't have to be perfect. You're going to notice here this is a little more wedged than this one, and it's okay. You can wedge it more if you need to. All right, now you're going to wedge this corner, and now your box is ready to put together on the bottom. So now I'm going to score it all, and you could have scored it ahead of time to save from having to flip all your little flaps in and stuff, but it's okay. I'm just going to score it all the way around. Remember, when you're scoring your lid, the lid is DSP. It's a little more fragile than cardstock, so don't get all crazy and do this because it will rip. Okay, you just need it enough to fold it up. So now I turn it over. Okay, so it's going to be like this, like this is the outside, and I'm going to add my adhesive. Now you could use tear and tape. You can use your Stamp and Seal, which I'm going to use. Oops, if I can get it going. So I just put some towards the top. Oh, this one's almost done. Is it done? Oh, this one's done. Done. All right. Oh, no, it's not. It fell off the thing. Hold on. Let me fix it. I used it in class yesterday, so I was surprised it was all done. Okay, well, that will be fixed later because I just pulled it out. All right. Let me find one. course, if I wasn't grabbing for new glue during a video, it just wouldn't be the same, right? Because I must do a lot of crafting in between videos. All right, here we go. Okay, let's get it started. There we go. All right, so now I do it towards the top and towards the bottom is how I like to do it. Number one, when you put the flaps in, I don't want to have the ends not secure because then they'll be flapping against whatever you're putting in your package, right? And then I'm going to go here. And so this would be cute like for a gift card or whatever you're putting in this package. You could even take, now you'll notice I put some paper on the inside. You could even take some of your printed paper and slice it up really super thin and make that your, you know, raffia or whatever inside. Okay, so now we're going to fold it, put it to the edge. And this one, just go all the way up to the edge, nice and tight. Okay, so you're going to notice that's why these flaps right here are nice and adhered right here. So because I did it on the outside and the inside. Thank you, Linda. All right, so now that's our 4x4 box. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Now we're going to go to this side. So what we're going to do, and again, it's going to be on my blog, you're going to see you have 4 squares. So we're going to cut these off, okay? So cut at like a backwards L. You're going to cut those off. Okay, so those are what you're going to cut off. And you're going to see on my diagram on the computer, on my blog. Okay, this is much smaller squares, so I'm going to switch to my smaller scissors. So I'm going to go straight. Remember, your panels you always want straight. And I'm going to go straight here. And we're going to cut this one off and this one. And now this is your flap, okay? So we want to edge it, wedge the corner. We want to go straight because remember you want your flap straight and you want to wedge right there. Okay, so we're going to do that on each one. So we're going to cut the backwards L shape off. Okay, so now that's gone. And now we're going to wedge our little flap. We want to go straight because you're going to be attached over here, and then we're going to wedge that one. All right, so let's do that all the way around. And now I'll show you once you get going, you're going to learn like on this one. So I would go like this, and then I would do this, and then I would take this and I would, you know, go wedge it. So you don't have to make that extra cut over there because that's coming off anyway. So you'll get the hang of it. So where you're making the least amount of cuts. And then this one, you're just going to wedge. Okay, hope that made sense. So now there's your lid. And now again, I'm going to score it. And yes, you could do it before while it's all one piece. It, you know, might be a little easier. Now you're going to notice this one, I did it as I turned. So you're going to notice the flaps are kind of a different shape, and that's okay. It's really, it really doesn't matter. And especially in this because you're not going to see them. So you're going to notice the lid doesn't go all the way down. Okay, you could have the lid go all the way down if that is the case. You still want to move it out a little bit, and you still want to, but you only want to score it at 2 inches. Okay, you're just going to score it at 2 inches instead of 1.5 inches. or I mean 1 inch and 2 inch. So why we're doing it at the 1 inch is because we're going to fold it in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take adhesive and just go along the outside of the flap. Okay, outside of the flap is all you need. I like to go a little closer to the edge. Okay, it doesn't have to be. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to tuck your flap in and fold this down. Okay, and what's nice is this flap tucks over here. So you just have to worry about the one side and then just slide it over your score. And you're going to have a nice smooth edge, a nice finish, and you're going to have only the half of the sides, which is 1 inch on this, the top, go down the side so you can see your pretty box at the bottom. Okay, so you're going to slide that over, tuck your tab again. That's why you don't have to put adhesive on here. All you're doing is finishing off the corners nicely and have it tucked to hold your sides together. All right, slide that down. Be careful the last one because this doesn't bend so much because it's already put together over here. Make sure you put that in nice and straight. Okay, and now hopefully it fits right on top of your box. And with having that little move over when you score it, now you have these nice smooth edges. Okay, so now we're going to decorate. And what I went to go grab is, let's go ahead and put this on the inside. I just kind of make sure it fits, you know, whichever way is the better fit for you, because sometimes when I cut it, if this is 4 inches, I cut it just under the 4-inch score line or cut line, just so I know it's going to fit in here nicely. I just put this kind of in the corners around the outside. I am using the Seal Plus because I'm doing a 3D project and I just want to make sure it stays together. Juanita, I just did the box, but it will be on my blog tonight. I'm going to be working on it. There's a few things. I have it almost ready to post, and all the measurements and everything will be on there. Hi, Rio. So let me know, and I will help you if you have any issues. Excuse me. Okay, so now we have the bottom. What's nice is when you use the DSP, you have a pretty inside too. All right, so now let's decorate the top. So what I did is you're going to take some of your basic gray. I take the longer, and I just did this just to add a little something, make it look like a ribbon. And so I'm just going to add that on there. The other thing I did is, and this is what I went to go grab, is my poinsettia, because I think I stuck it back in here. Yes. And so this was the bottom portion of my card when like I told you, when I cut my 6x4 and I cut the bottom off, I kept it and I just added on there just to kind of tie it in. So don't get rid of these little scrappy pieces, and they could come in handy, right? So what I did here is let me see, I don't even think this one's long enough. That's not long enough. Let me grab something else. Let's grab this piece. All right, this is better. So 4, 5, 6 inches. So we're gonna just cut this like a 1/2 inch, and it should be by 8, because you're going to do 1, 2, 4, that's 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so it should be 8 inches. and that's how long it should be. And if it's a little shorter than that, it's not that big of a deal. It's on the inside of your lid. Hi, Cheryl. So if it's on the inside of your lid, it's not, you know, terrible. So don't worry about that. So I'm just going to run it across and kind of score it where I want it. I don't even put this in the score at the 4" and all that stuff. See? And then on the inside, it looks pretty even. So once you have your lines on there, I did just go down the middle. And again, this is the plus. Okay, now we're going to go across, make sure, like this is a big flower here, so I'm going to have it go this way. And I'm just going to do it right in the middle. It's going to go under everything. And then just tuck it under. So it kind of looks like ribbon. Now, I could have used that pretty satiny ribbon that I cannot find right now. But that's okay. I want to use the paper. It matches. It's cheaper. And it looks good. So why not? You're going to have some extra pieces when you're doing your stuff. So I'm going to add this here. Just a strip. And I added it towards the top a little bit. Just so you can make sure you see that. Oh, it's not even. I'm going to make it even. So... I mean, all we're doing is adding a little bit to it, right? Now we have our sentiment already done and our flowers already done. So I'm going to pop the sentiment up. I'm going to use some of my scrappy pieces here. I'm going to put this towards the top, and I'll put this one towards the bottom. All right, so we're going to do that. Looks like I did it a little higher, but that's okay. We're going to put that about right. My head in the way. I'm sorry. Jeez. All right. You can tell I just pretty much have to be right over everything. All right, so we're going to put this one on the bottom where the other one was on the top. But look how nicely it fits. Sometimes I wonder, I mean, I think they just make sure that they fit everything just so, like when they put stuff together. And they're like, oh, let's put the flowers wrapping the words. They're brilliant. I can't get over how nicely it is. All right, so this time, instead of the foam squares and the dimensionals up on the top, we're going to put them towards the bottom. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this towards the bottom and put that there. And then I have some little ones here that I'm going to put out, and I'm going to just check it out again. And I think, oops, this one shows too much for me. So let me cut that corner off. And we'll just turn it right there. All right, I think, oh, and I'm going to add a little tiny piece, which I have right here already cut, over here. Just so that little piece stays down. Thank you, Jeannie. Thanks, Kayleen. Kayleen, sorry. Oh, Vay. Hello, Gizmo. My puppy's in here snoring away. All right, so we're gonna, I did add the shimmer already on there. Let's see if you can see. I don't know. There we go, right there. Ooh. Okay, so we added our shimmer already. Gotta have shimmer, right? I'm just gonna add that right there. And now we're gonna tie in some of this bow somehow. So let's take a look. Where did I put it? Here we go. I'm almost thinking, I think we're just going to go with a little bow and just tie it up there. Let's just see what happens. And that's another thing. This is so forgiving when you're tying a bow. It just really, I mean, look at that knot is just so pretty. It just, whatever you want. Okay, I don't want to waste this much, so I'm going to move my bow down. So think about that when you're doing your bow. Oh, Cheryl, thank you. I've been trying to do them myself. And I have to tell you, the chemicals that I use, I'm not agreeing. I get all sinusy and ugh. So I'm waiting for my new chemicals to come so I can try something different. But it's fun. I've been having fun doing them. I've been having fun shopping for the colors more. That's what my husband says anyway. All right, I think I'm going to leave this. We'll put it over. So I want this a little longer. Let's play with it and see what we get. This is such a fun ribbon. All right, so I think if we just tuck it, so what I'm going to do is use some glue dots. They are not gel. Well, no, they're the powder, the dip. I do the dip. So it's powder. You put a polish on and okay, so I'm putting like 3 and I'm kind of going across so I have a good coverage. And so it's a dip powder, so I put a liquid on. I'm going to put this kind of tucked under, but not really. So let me pull it towards me a little bit. Let me use my tool. I want to put it really close to right there. And then I'm going to bring this just kind of under. And then I'm going to bring this under over here. And I'm thinking I'm going to lift this corner. I mean, it's a box, right? It's not going in the mail. And I'm going to bring that over, but I just want this a little shorter. And I think what I'm going to do is add a little glue dot over here underneath, but enough to where you can just make sure the ribbon is sticking to it right there, and that way it won't come out. There, so there's our box. Now this is our 4x4 box. Now remember, if you have an issue putting your lid on, try and turn it because it may just fit better the other way. So don't be discouraged and be like, oh no, it doesn't fit. But remember, the secret is to edge over the top just a tiny bit and it will work just fine. And I have had a lot of boxes in my life, but this one is always my go-to. It's the easiest to do, I think. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of other boxes that we did. So this was our first one. Here, let me move this. So this was the first one I did, and then this is the second. Same with the card, first and second one that we did. Don't forget to put your shimmer on your flowers before you add them. So see, it just kind of makes everything look nice, and then you've got that shimmery. Gosh, I wish you guys could see that better in person. It is just super shimmery. And I am loving this ribbon right here. Love, 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 love it. Okay, so there's that. Now I want to show you, I did some other boxes. Right here. So I had a class yesterday and we made some boxes, and this paper is actually from the Most Wonderful Medley project, and so I made a box. I did not put the bottom in yet, but these are already 6x6. This is a 3x3, which is perfect size for just a little gift for maybe the bridesmaids or a neighbor or coworker or whatever. This one we did, and I put the ribbon on that you can just slide off. I did the decoration in the middle, and then this was a 4x4, and I started out with this size, which is when I put this project together. I did the 4x4, but then I came up with a 3x3. And why did I come up with a 3x3? Because it fits 4 of the Ferrero Rocher, whatever, chocolates, and it fits perfectly. So for a cute little gift for your coworker, or maybe somebody coming to the house for Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever, you can create these as little gifts to give away. So again, measurements will be on my blog that just kind of show you my thought process of making the card. And so I think I did it as a 4x4, so it's going to be this size, but I started with a 7x7. I mean, you just have to kind of figure it out. I think watching this video is going to be the easiest way to come up with your size that you want. But just remember, if you want a box this size, measure it, and then that's your inside. So inside would be, let's just say, with a weird size, let's just figure it out. This is 5.5, so let's say you want it 6 this way, but you only need it, it's about 2.5, so maybe 6x3, and you want it an inch high, so you're going to do 6, 7, an inch on this side, 8, an inch on this side, okay? But if you need it 2 inches, because you just, you know, figure out what you want, so just make sure you do your width, your sides, and then width and sides. And that's how you do it. Oh, there you go. So that's how, you know, you're going to measure. So this here, figure out what your sides you want. Do you want a 1/2 inch, an inch, 2 inches? This is 2 inches. This is 1.5 inches. So just kind of figure out, you know, what size you want, and then go by my video, what I showed on how to create the box, and it's super simple. So I hope that helped you and that you understood. And let me, thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I wanted to share with you, if you could share my video and subscribe. We get a report on how many people subscribe, and I have a lot more viewers than subscribers, so I would love for you guys to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. The candies are probably, well, this is 1.5 inches, and they're probably an inch, 1.25 inches maybe. So there's just a little room at the top. So I think 1.5 inches is perfect. You're welcome, Cheryl. Juanita, you are so welcome. I hope this did help you guys. I would so appreciate you subscribing and sharing and liking. I love looking at my reports. I like to see what people like. Michelle, thank you so much for requesting the stamp set, which is the Bloom and Grow bundle is what I used. And I love it. I love the set. It is so nice because the flowers are clustered, ready to go, and there's no thinking about it. Again, I am live on Sundays at noon and Tuesdays at 2. So next week, I leave on Tuesday. I'm going to go see my grandson. And so I will have some recorded videos, but I have some super cute things I'm going to share with you. So I will be working on that. The ornate garden, somebody requested, go check my blog. There is a great ornate garden, a couple of them, I think, videos on there, but I will do some more with it for sure. I already have some things lined up because I'm leaving. A couple Christmas, a couple not. So I hope you'll tune in for that. And make sure you check my blog. And if you could subscribe over there, that would be awesome. That is where you're going to find the measurements. You're going to find the links to supplies, as well as below on the description on my YouTube. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. You're so sweet. So you will find all the links, the measurements. I do have a graph on there that kind of helps you with your measurements and how to decide on your boxes and how that works, and a little color diagram on what to cut out and what to do adhesive and all that. So, and as always, if you have any questions, message me on my blog, message me on here, and I am so happy to help you with anything. Kayleen, you are welcome, and thanks for joining us. Everybody, thank you so much. Michelle, Bonnie, Vay, Linda, Rio, Cheryl, Juanita. You guys, I really appreciate crafting with you. I'm actually going to be recording I'm going to be recording a video here shortly to upload next week when I'm not here. So even though I'm not here next week, be looking for videos. I will be here this week, not the next week. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Tashana, thank you so much. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Don't forget that our DSP is on sale, 15% off. That's going to make you some gorgeous boxes. If you cut down your DSP, like I told you, that Kylie suggested, and her video will be linked up above in the little information section. And if you did that, don't forget to also keep one at a larger size so you can make projects like the boxes. Oh, Kayleen, yes, I don't have those measurements. Let me see what I can do to get those for you. I'm terrible. I do not know metrics, but let me see what I can do. The other thing I wanted to share with you is our fun paper pumpkin. If you have not subscribed for next month, oh, let me see if this is going to show. It showed when I tested it and it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Here's a cute little video. And if you look on YouTube, it's got some cute little sound with it.
Special for this
and
November's
this is going to be a little gingerbread.
Make the Christmas season a little sweeter with the Jolly Gingerbread Kit, filled with peppermint candy embellishments,
they only give us
curly
some
rooftop
clues.
Designs, and as always,
and so we know
an
it has
exclusive
something to
stamp
do with
set that
gingerbread.
everyone will love. Subscribe by November 10th for a heart
so there's going to
holiday
be some hard
crafting
candies,
experience.
and I think those are little elements, like little shaker card things or little like rhinestone things you can put on. So that'll be kind of fun. All right, everybody, thanks again. If I can help you in any way. Oh, I know, Kayleen. Hopefully soon. I think things are coming to go farther, and hopefully they'll do that soon. Cheryl, I know. I'm loving it. I can't wait for this one. I'm getting the current Joy to the World on Tuesday, and I have a class next weekend with it, so I'm excited. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. I will see you Tuesday, and have a safe rest of your weekend, and have a great week. Bye.